Hi everyone, I'm Stefan and today I'm going to show you superglue. So you can put superglue between you and basically any legacy APIs that you need to call, and it will give you the data that you need in the format that you need it. So let's run that through with Jira today. We just need to know the endpoint URL. We really work better with a documentation. It's not necessary, but it's good to have, and an API key. All right, and then we can just paste that whatever we want to have. In that case, I want to have all issues. And that's basically all superglue needs. So it will read the documentation, it will figure out authentication, it will figure out which exact endpoint to call. In this case, I would expect it's something like a search on issues endpoint. And it will get the data for you in the first step. This should take about a minute to configure. All right, and once that's done, we can start workshopping the data. So as you see, we have a lot of information here that we probably don't need. Say we basically just want to have an ID and a key, yeah, sure. And let's call that issues, let's be specific. And let's run that through. And what superglue will then do is it will basically parse all of the source data, all of the raw API response data, and create something like a JSON-Nata mapping, which you see on the rightmost tab. So something like this. In this case, it looks very, very simple, but it can get, of course, much more complex. It will give you exactly the data that you need in the format that you need it in. And once the JSON-Nata mapping is generated, you can basically use it and reuse it. Awesome. So let's make that a bit more interesting. We have a bunch of Learn Jira tasks in there. Let's say we want to filter for only the Learn Jira ones. Awesome. And notice how I don't indicate where the Learn Jira ones are or like where that information sits. Superglue should be able to figure it out itself and create the appropriate filter. As we see, it did it. And if we check in the response mapping, we see that actually it looks for the project key and filtered that accordingly. Awesome. So once that's done and once we're happy with that output, we can complete. We can copy that as a curl or call it with our SDK and just open up a new terminal here, make that a bit bigger, run that through, put that into JQ. And the first time it regenerates the mapping, saves everything for production. Should take a bit of time, but then once that's run through, yes, perfectly. Now it ran through, and if we run it again, it should be much faster, exactly because it stored everything it needs and gives you exactly the information, even if the information changes on the source side. So not only, of course, the content, right, if a new ticket comes up, but even if the structure changes, right, if Jira decides to change its keys or the key structure or add new fields, remove fields, superglue will automatically remap everything that it sees here so that you can always get the data that you want without having to deal with integrations breaking or any manual maintenance. Thanks so much. Let us know what you think.